I always respected Tony Blair. He's a very smart guy. He moved Labour more to the middle, you could say to the right. He made them electable again. There's a smell of him behind the scenes with Starmer's victory. He certainly wanted to be involved, however much he really was. It's always hard to judge without hindsight. And he's had a keen interest in the Middle East. I remember him speaking eloquently on the two-state solution when it was tried, and we should remember rejected by the Palestinians. They voted for Hamas in Gaza. They executed everyone who opposed them, which basically meant a lot of the people who believed in a two-state solution. They campaigned firing rockets for more than a decade. They undertook a massacre of well over 1,000 people, slaughtering children in front of their parents. But the two-state solution still limps on. Israel signed up to it. Most of the world signed up to it. The problem is it takes two to tango. Well, here comes Tony Blair, the British expert on the Middle East. And he certainly has tried to be involved, just as he's tried to be involved with a lot of things over the years. This, to date, has seemed to be one of his least profitable investments of time. But the man who helped ensure that we went to war with false evidence, the man who readily accepted that, and whose staff wrote the dodgy dossier, he's back. He's back with a bang, and we're told that the man who nobody would elect as Prime Minister now in the UK, I'm very sorry, Tony, but all political careers end in failure, and your political career in a normal universe has ended. Yet now we're told by a lot of sources that he might be the man to rule Palestine. Well, I actually have a fairly positive view of Tony, and that I think he believes that he does the best for people. The problem for me is, what did the Palestinians do to get a failed former Prime Minister? And I know you could say he's not failed, but I think he's burned a lot of his goodwill over the years. And Britain has a history of messing around in the Middle East. You can say we've caused a lot of problems there, and you won't be entirely wrong. I'm very reluctant to see that Tony Blair is the solution to the Palestinian problem. And I think it says more about the globalist glad handing, where former leaders whose people wouldn't elect them get resurrected as the only solution to intractable problems. Well, I'm sorry, Tony, I don't see it. Mandelson as ambassador to America seemed a much more likely success, and see how that worked out, his old mate. Whilst he's an elder statesman, when he says, I've been to the Middle East 260 times and I'm deep in the politics, as a Briton who's experienced him over the last 30 years, that fills me with dread for the Palestinian people and the Middle East. This is the same Tony Blair, after all, that Mahmoud Abbas asked to step down as a member of the quartet because they felt that he wasn't acting in their interests and was campaigning against Palestinian statehood.